What is up guys, in this tutorial we are going to build a functioning contact us form using email.js. For the design we will be using Bootstrap. As you can see, we have a contact form. It is mobile responsive. Let's check that. So Ctrl Shift I. Right, you can see it is mobile responsive, right? So now let's test this app. Here I'm going to give my name, so Warrenzo. Then email address warren@codewithwarren.com, and the message, let's say this is a test, and click submit. So you will get an alert saying your message sent successfully, right? Press OK. Now the form is cleared. So now let's check our mail. I'm going to check my inbox. Just I get the mail. It says a new message from Warrenzo, and you can see the given email address, and also you can see the message here, right? Okay, now let's get started. So now open up your code editor. In my case I am using VS Code. I'm going to create a new file, so I'm going to name it index.html. To create the HTML document, I'm going to say exclamation mark, then press enter. Now I'm going to change the title. Let's say contact us. For the design I'm going to use Bootstrap. So go to your browser and search Bootstrap for CDN. So Bootstrap for CDN, right? Click the first link. Just copy this line, okay? And paste it inside the head tag. So I'm going to paste it under a title. Now I'm going to design the form, right? So inside the body, I'm going to create a div. The Bootstrap class names are container, and I'm going to give a border. So border. Then I'm going to give some space on the top. So margin top empty 3. And also I'm going to give a color to our form, so BG light. Press enter. Then I'm going to create another div. So div, the class name is row, so dot row. Inside this div I'm going to have two different divs. The first one is for this part, the blue color part, and the second div is for the form, right? So I'm going to say div. So the class name is call md6, right? Then padding, so p5. Then I'm going to give blue color for the background, so I'm going to say bg primary, right? The next class is text white, so the text inside this div will be white, so text white. Press enter, right? Inside the first div I'm going to create a h1, so let's say hi there. After this heading I'm going to create h4, so h4, let's type something, right? Let's check the design. I'm using an extension called a live server. If you don't have, just go to extension and search live server, the first one. Just install this, right? So after the installation you will see something like this, go live, right? So I'm gonna click that. Yeah, we have successfully created our first part, right? So now we are going to create the form that will be appeared in the second div, right? So after this div I'm going to create another div. The div size should be same as the first div, so I'm gonna say call md6, right? The next class is I'm going to give some space on the top and the bottom, so py let's say 3. Also I'm going to give a title for this, so h1, let's say contact form. Then another div, the class name is form group, so form group. Then h5, name, and here let's say for name. Then input, the type is text, the class which is form control. Then ID, which is name. Then let's give a placeholder, so placeholder, let's say enter your name. Okay, then the next input is email, so I'm going to copy this, right? You can use shift, alter and a down arrow key to copy this, right? I'm going to rename this, so here it's going to be email, then the type is email, ID email, so here I'm going to say enter your email, right? Then we need an input for our message, so div, the class name is form group, h5, message, for message, then I'm going to create text area, so text area, so we don't need name, the ID is message, row is 3, right? I don't need column, so I'm going to delete that, so we don't need name, right? Delete that, the row is 3. Then the class name is form control. Then we need a button, so button, let's say submit, the class name which is btn, the button should be blue, so btn primary. Now let's check the design, right? That's cool, right? So now let's connect this with email.js, so go to email.js.com, right? email.js.com, right? You need to create an account, so you can click this create free account. I have already created, so I'm going to sign in, right? First of all, we need to create email service, right? So click add new service and select your email service. In my case, I'm going to use Gmail, right? So click connect account and select your email, then continue, done, then create service. Then we need to create our email template, so click the second tab, email templates, and create new template. So you can see here, so I'm going to edit this new message from, so just I'm going to say name, right? It's simple, right? So name, then here I'm going to say hello name, so the name is this one, whatever you enter in this field, right? Here I'm going to say you got a new message from someone, so then I'm going to mention my email address, right? That is the second one, right? So I'm going to say inside the bracket double curly braces, I'm going to say email, so message, right? I am going to leave it as it is. Then I'm going to say best wishes, here I'm going to say code with Warren. Then here you can change the from name, I'm going to leave it, right? That's it, just save it. So now go to this documentation, docs, and go down and click installation, right, and just copy the script. So I'm going to paste it inside the head. So here we need to give our public key, right? So go to email.js. Now go to account. You can find the public key here, right? Okay, just copy and replace this. Now I'm going to create another JavaScript file. So let's call it index.js. And first of all, you need to link that. So I'm going to say script, the source is index.js, right? Open up index.js. I'm going to create a function. Let's call it send mail. So function send mail, and now I'm going to create an object. So var, let's call it params. The first one is name. I'm going to get the name using ID, right? So document dot get element by ID. The ID is name, right? So name dot value. The next field is email. So email document dot get element by ID. The ID is email dot value. And the third one is message. I'm going to copy this. So shift alt down arrow key, right? So here I'm going to say message. There should be a comma. So here message. Then I'm going to store my service ID and this template ID in a variable. So I'm going to say const service ID. Now let's go to email.js and go to services. Here we can find our service ID, right? Copy this, paste it here. Then the second one is template ID. So const template ID. So go to email templates. You can find the template ID here. And go to setting, template ID. Copy this template ID and paste it here. Then I'm going to use the function called send. So email.js.send. The first parameter is service ID. The second parameter is template ID. The third parameter is params. Then response. After we send the email, I'm going to empty the form's values, right? So I'm going to say document dot get element by ID. The first one is name dot value, which is empty string. So I'm going to copy this. The second one is email. The third one is message. After that, I'm going to log the response. So console.log response, right? Then I'm going to show alert. So alert, let's say your message sent successfully. Right. If anything goes wrong, I'm going to log it in the console. So .catch, let's call it error, console log error. Right, now go to index.html, right? So come to button. On the onClick event, we need to call that function, right? So onClick, the function name is send mail. And I made a mistake in the JS file. So here we need to move this inside this function. Now let's check our app. So here I'm going to say Warren so, email is warren@codewithwarren.com. the message is, this is a test message. Now submit. Yeah, it says your message sent successfully, right? Now let's check the console. So Ctrl+Shift+I, right? You can see the status is 200 and the text is OK. Now let's check our mail. You can see the first message from Warren so, which was our name. It says Code with Warren. This name comes from email.js. When you go to template, here you can see the from name, which is Code with Warren. Then the name is here. Again the name is here, and the email address is here, and this is the test message, right? That's it guys. Thank you for watching, and like this video, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.